Hello kiddos, welcome to the class. So just see what I am doing. What am I doing? I am throwing this ball up with a certain velocity. It is going up and then coming down again. Why? Because of the force of gravity, isn't it? So today in our class, first we will define what is acceleration and what is deceleration, and after that deceleration or retardation, and after that we will discuss the action of the force of gravity. When the force of gravity is acting on the ball, the acceleration that is produced is called acceleration due to gravity. Okay, so we will study today what is acceleration due to gravity and what is the value of acceleration due to gravity, and then we will do a few problems like when I am throwing this ball up with a certain velocity, what is the maximum height reached by the ball and what is the velocity with which the ball is coming down again. Okay, so this is what we will be doing in the numericals today. We will first attempt the numericals and see. After that a few problems we will be doing and the things will become clearer to you. Okay, so let us start the class. Okay kiddos, now look at the board. First of all, we will be defining what is acceleration. Write down what is acceleration. Acceleration, it is nothing but the change in velocity of a body divided by time. Okay, so in other words we can write acceleration is the rate of change in velocity of a body, rate of change in velocity of a body. And what is the change in velocity? Change in velocity is nothing but final velocity minus the initial velocity, isn't it? Suppose I am writing final velocity, write down final velocity. If final velocity is v, small letter v, and initial velocity I am writing by the small letter u, initial velocity is equal to u, and the time taken for the change, time taken is equal to t. Then what is the change in velocity? First we will write down acceleration a is equal to change in velocity by time, change in velocity divided by time. So that will give us what is change in velocity, final velocity minus the initial velocity. Okay, that divided by time is equal to the acceleration a. Now this is the expression we are getting. So if I take it to the other side, t to the other side, we get v minus u is equal to a into t. Now u, if I take to the other side, we will get, therefore the final velocity of the body v is equal to initial velocity plus a into t, acceleration into time. Clear? Okay, so now we have defined acceleration. For example, now we will go on to study about retardation or negative acceleration. How can negative acceleration come about? Negative acceleration happens when a body is slowing down. Suppose a car is traveling at a certain velocity, then suddenly you apply brakes. What happens? The car will come to a stop after some time. So it takes time. It doesn't happen within a second. Okay, so there is a certain initial velocity and the final velocity becomes what? You have applied brakes, so final velocity is less than the initial velocity. Okay, in that case what will we get? V minus u, this is what? Final velocity is less than the initial velocity. Then in that case this will come out to be a negative quantity. Okay, v minus u will come out to be a negative quantity. Negative quantity that divided by time will be equal to your acceleration. So your acceleration will come out to be negative. This value will come out to be negative. When the acceleration comes out to be negative, we call it retardation. Okay, so write down. So negative acceleration is called, or the reduction in velocity over time. Negative acceleration is called retardation. Retardation. I'll again explain with the ball. Okay, so 1 minute, just look here. This is the ball. I'm throwing it up with a certain velocity. Okay, it reaches a certain top. What did the velocity at the top be? The velocity at the top becomes 0. That means what? The velocity of the ball is gradually decreasing. And when it has reached the maximum height, velocity becomes 0. After that, it again comes back to the earth because of the force of gravity. So here initial velocity is more than the final velocity. When you have reached the maximum height, the velocity of the ball becomes 0. So the final velocity is less than the initial velocity. That is why retardation is taking place, or reduction in velocity is taking place when the ball is going up, because it is acting against the force of gravity. Now after reaching the top, the velocity becomes 0 and then the ball starts coming back to earth again. Then the direction of the ball is in the same direction as the force of gravity. That is why acceleration, or what? Increase in velocity of the ball is taking place while coming down. Understood? So that is positive acceleration. And when the ball is going up, velocity is gradually decreasing. That is negative acceleration. Understood? So in the problems, when you are doing the problem, numericals, when the ball is going up, acceleration you will take as negative, and when the ball is coming down, acceleration will be positive. Got the point? Good. Okay, now let us proceed. You have understood what retardation is. Now write down, we will study about acceleration due to gravity. Okay, what is acceleration? I am writing in short. Okay, this stands for acceleration. Acceleration due to gravity. Why does that happen? Just write down. When a ball or a body, any body, when a body is falling towards the earth, is falling towards the earth. Why? Because the earth is pulling it towards the earth due to the force of gravity. Due to the force of gravity. What happens then? Increase in velocity takes place. Write down. Increase in velocity takes place. Increase in velocity takes place. So that acceleration is called what? Acceleration due to gravity. This acceleration is called what? I'm writing it here. Is called acceleration due to gravity. It is denoted by the letter small g. Acceleration is denoted by the letter small d. Small g, sorry. The value of small g comes out to be equal to 9.8 meters per second square. But while doing certain numericals, sometimes you can take the value of g as 10 also. If it is given in the problem, you can take g as 10. Okay, approximately equal to what? 10 meters per second square. That is the acceleration due to gravity. Hope you are understanding the class. If you find it interesting, please like and subscribe the channel. Okay, ask any doubts in the comment section. Okay kiddos, now let us start and do some numericals in this chapter. When you do the numericals, you will understand the subject more, and practicing numericals will be making it clearer and easier for you. Look at the problem, first problem. Okay, the first problem says the velocity of a car increases from 12 meters per second to 60 meters per second in 12 seconds. Find its acceleration. Very simple, isn't it? We have already done what is acceleration. Acceleration is final velocity minus initial velocity divided by time. The final velocity is given to you as 60 meters per second. Initial velocity was 12. So minus u minus 12 divided by time. Time taken is 12 seconds. So what am I getting? I am getting 48 by 12 is equal to 4 meters per second square is the acceleration. Clear? Understood? Okay, good. Number 1 done and dusted. Now number 2. A car travels 20 minutes at 30 kilometers per hour. So it is traveling 20 minutes at a velocity of 30 kilometers per hour. Then it is traveling another 30 minutes at 60 kilometers per hour. What we have to find is find the average velocity and the total distance traveled. Okay. Do you remember the formula for calculating average velocity? Average velocity was total distance by total time. Okay. So we will use that to find. Write down. Number 2. Average velocity will be total distance. So total distance divided by total time taken. I am writing in short forms. Okay. Total time. Total distance, suppose the first part of the distance was, suppose the first distance was d1, the second distance is d2, which we have to calculate, and the total time is equal to t1 plus t2. So if we know these values, we can find. Okay. Now it traveled 20 minutes at 30 kilometers per hour. So what was the distance traveled in the first part of the journey? That is d1, isn't it? Now we will calculate d1. d1 is equal to what? Velocity into time. But velocity is given in kilometers per hour. So the time also we will convert into hours. 20 minutes is equal to what? 1 by 3 hours. Okay. 20 divided by 60. Therefore, velocity distance was first velocity into v1 into t1. That will be equal to 30 into time taken is 30 by 20 by 60. I have converted it into hours. Okay. Therefore, what am I getting? I am getting 10. So distance 1 comes out to be 10 kilometers. First part of the journey. Next, second part of the journey was d2. d2 will be the velocity into time. t2, v2 and t2 are the velocities and the time for the second part of the journey. So 30 minutes has to be again converted into hours. Okay. So we will write it 30 by 60. So velocity they have given you is 60 kilometers per hour, and time in hours will be 30 divided by 60 hours. Okay. So we are getting, what are we getting? We are getting 30 kilometers, isn't it? Now calculate just. Okay. So we are getting 30 kilometers. So total distance traveled now I have got. And what was the total time taken? Total time taken was 30 plus 20 minutes. That is 50 minutes. Total time taken was 30 plus 20 minutes. That means 50 minutes. So if I write it in hours, I have to convert into hours. So it will be 50 divided by 60 hours. Okay. Or 5 by 6 hours was the total time taken. Now we are in a position to find the average velocity. Write down average velocity is equal to total distance was this plus this, d1 plus d2, that is 10 plus 30, and total time was t1 plus t2, that is equal to coming out to be 5 by 6 hours. Okay. So we are getting 40 divided by 5 by 6, or we are getting 40 into 6 by 5. So cancel it 8 times. Okay. So 6 8s are 48. The average velocity of the car is coming out to be average 48 kilometers per hour is the average velocity of the car, and the total distance traveled was 10 plus 30. That means total distance traveled is 40 kilometers. Got it? Okay, fine, good. Please like and subscribe. More topics are coming up. Okay. Number 3. A stone is thrown vertically up with a velocity of 60 meters per second. Here is where the acceleration due to gravity, the force of gravity is coming into picture. Got it? So here they have given us acceleration due to gravity should be taken as 10 meters per second square. Okay. The stone is thrown vertically up. Remember, it is thrown vertically up. Therefore, G will be negative because it is acting in the direction opposite to the direction of motion of the ball. Got it? Good. Next, we are now in a position to find out number 3. A stone is thrown vertically up with a velocity of 60 meters per second. Find the time taken. Very easy. Time taken will be equal to what? Tell me. Time taken is what? Tell me, what was acceleration into time? Acceleration into time was equal to V minus U was equal to 80, wasn't it? Therefore, what are we getting? We are getting the time taken. Find the time taken to reach the top. That will be equal to V minus U by acceleration. What was the initial velocity is 60. Sorry. Initial velocity is this 60, yes, and final velocity was 0 when it has reached the top. So final velocity is 0 minus initial velocity is 60 divided by the acceleration they have given us is 10. Okay, so that is negative because the ball was going up, it will be minus 10. So we are getting is equal to 6 seconds. Therefore, the time taken to reach the top is equal to 6 seconds. Clear? Okay, then in the next part we will find out what? Distance traveled by the ball to reach the maximum height. Now let us do that. Okay. Now in problem number 3, let us also find out the maximum height reached by the stone. Okay. We have added another part to this question. Find, write down another part I have added to the question, that is find the maximum height reached by the stone. Okay, for that we will use the formula S is equal to ut plus half gt square, where g is the acceleration. Okay, acceleration here is acceleration due to gravity. Remember, that will be negative because the ball is going up. Initial velocity, you have thrown it up with a velocity 60, so 60 into time was equal to what? Time you got 6 seconds plus half into minus, g will be minus negative 10. Okay, because the ball is going up, into time square. Time was 6 into therefore 36. Hence, distance traveled, that means the maximum time taken, the distance traveled to reach the topmost height is equal to 360. This will become minus. So minus 36 into 10 by 2. So what are we getting? Here we are getting 180. Therefore 360 minus 180 is equal to 180. Maximum height reached is equal to 180 meters. Got it? That is when the velocity of the stone becomes 0, and then it will start to fall back to the earth again. Why? Because of the force of gravity. During the second part of the journey, velocity of the ball will again start to increase because the ball is falling downwards. Got it? Good. Now wait for the next chapter. Okay, we'll be doing more numericals too. and please subscribe the channel for more topics. Maths and chemistry 2 will be coming up. Okay. Thank you, students. Bye bye.